and so much so that in high school we really didn't speak to each other much.
I'm scared of her.
And that's not true. And I think that was because we were, though we came from similar neighborhoods, we were, should I hold it like this? That's good? Do I need, can you guys hear me if I speak like this?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do that. So we don't have to deal with the microphone. Tony and I, though we came from similar neighborhoods, we grew up differently. When I was your age, I was actually most of the time locked up. I spent most of my 8th grade not in a public school, but in some little classroom in juvenile hall with one class and with one teacher, a bunch of kids all kind of put together this one class with 2 books. That we never really had homework. There was never really nothing going on. I didn't learn one thing. At the age of 14, I found myself standing on a line waiting for my name to be called, and I had stood in this line many times before, and I knew the drill already. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew that the judge was going to look at my file, was going to take about 5 seconds to look at all the violation probation that I had. And somehow he was going to throw his hands up in the air, just like my parents, just like my teachers, and just like my probation officer. And somehow he was not going to know what to do with me. He finally called my name, and I stood on this line wearing an ugly blue uniform with the words "Property of Eastlake Juvenile Hall" on my back, handcuffs on my wrist and on my ankle. And finally, when he called my name, the only thing he told me was that if I was ever in his courtroom again, he was going to make sure that I was behind bars until my 18th birthday. Now I wish that at the age of 14, maybe a year or so older than most of you here, I wish that at the age of 14 I would have gave a damn. I wish that I was going to walk into that courtroom and somehow, no matter what came my way, I was going to do the right thing. That somehow, from that moment on, he scared me straight that I was going to walk out, and from that moment on, I was going to know what to do no matter what happened. But the truth was that the only regret that I had was the fact that I couldn't flip them off because I was still in handcuffs. That the fact that somehow the only thing that I was thankful for was that for the first time in 10 months I was going to be able to take that ugly blue uniform off and go put on my creased up dicky pants, my initial belt, and my clean Nike Cortez shoes, and I was going to go hang out on the corner with my homeboys just like I had done every other time I was released from juvie. I had not learned one thing, not one sense of reflection, not one sense of responsibility the entire time that I was in there. Not that last time, not the 8 months before that, or not the 7 months before that, and not the 5 months before that. I had been in and out of juvenile hall since the age of 11, and I had not learned one thing that made me believe that I was going to do something different. The officer, the first time I went to juvenile hall, she told me that I was going to be back, and she was right because I kept coming back time after time. I had come to the conclusion at the age of 14 that I was going to be just like my parents and I was going to be just like my grandparents. That I was going to have the exactly same life and I was going to make the exact same choices. You see, my neighborhood, just like Tony's neighborhood, like most of your neighborhoods, are not that different. There wasn't one person that I knew growing up that had graduated from high school, let alone had gone to college. Anytime a teacher told me that I could be anything, that I could do anything, that I could even graduate from high school, it was a joke to me. Because there wasn't one person that I knew that had actually done it. If I ever had to wonder how my life was going to turn out, all I had to do was look into the eyes of my family because it told me exactly how it was going to end up. You see, there wasn't nothing unique or special about me. I wasn't any smarter than anyone else on my block. I dressed just like them, I spoke just like them, and damn it, I was making the same choices that they had made. Why would I believe that I was going to be the one that was going to make or do something different? My PO at the time thought it was a great idea to send me to this school that was 2 buses and a train away from my neighborhood. He thought that if I went to Woodrow Wilson in a very nice area, a few blocks away from the beach, that this school was going to be the difference. That somehow this was going to be my last chance, and he kept telling me that on my way to school, that this is going to be your second chance, Maria. And I had to laugh because there are no second chances when I'm wearing an ankle monitor around my leg because I'm on house arrest. There are no second chances when you are in remedial English. There are no second chances when your parents have a 2nd and 6th grade education. There are no second chances when somehow you know that you're going to end up knocked up at the age of 15 just like your mother. That somehow you're going to be in and out of prison just like your father. There are no second chances when you know that it's only a matter of time before you mess up again and you're behind bars just like a few weeks before that. I entered my freshman year in high school, and my first period class was my English class, and I went and sat on the back corner with people that looked like me. People that dressed like me, people that somehow came from neighborhoods that I thought were similar to mine. And in front of me stood this white girl from Newport Beach that somehow was wearing polka dot dress and pearls around her neck, and she had this goofy smile from ear to ear, and she kept going on and on about all the things that we were going to learn about that semester.